Today we talk about medical device patents. So what is the definition of a medical device patent? A medical device patent refers to the exclusive rights granted to inventors or entities for novel and inventive technologies relating to the medical devices. These patents provide legal protection, preventing others from making, using, selling, or importing the patented innovations without permission. And in the medical and drug space, a patent can be worth billions. So we'll talk a little bit about a historical perspective. So the history of medical device patent is closely tied to advancements in healthcare and technology. Over the years, innovations in medical devices have significantly contributed to improved patient care and treatment outcomes. Early patents in the medical field often focus on surgical instruments and diagnostic tools. As medical technology advanced, the scope of medical device patents expanded to cover a wide range of devices, including implantables, diagnostic equipment, and therapeutic apparatus. More recently, the advent of software have expanded the definition of medical device, where we've seen companies offer medical software solutions in the form of a virtual pill. So this has expanded over time with the technologies. So now let's talk about the types of medical device patents. You have utility patents that cover functionality. It protects the functional aspects of a medical device, including novel features, processes, and methods of use. You have design patents cover the ornamental designs or visual appearance of a medical device. Design patents are not focusing, they don't focus on functionality, but they are about the device's unique visual characteristics. Next, we have method patents. And so those are relating to novel methods or processes relating to the use, manufacture, or implementation of the medical devices. And in certain jurisdictions, you can claim innovative procedures or treatment methods. However, in certain other jurisdictions, you cannot patent medical treatment methodology. So you have process patents as well. So that may relate to the manufacturing methods of making the medical device for or the specific materials used in the construction, for example. There's also composition of matter patents. And these pertain to the patenting of specific compositions or matter used in the medical device, such as the novel materials, the coatings, or the drug formulations integrated into the device. Plant patents are rare in medical devices, but it is applicable if the device involves novel plant varieties used in the medical treatment. This could be, let's say, for example, in the CBD space, you may have certain plant uniquely crafted, and they provide specific advantages over conventional CBD, and then you take the extracted oil and you applied it into a medical device for slow release, as an example. So that's how plant patents, although rare, could be used as a part of a medical device patenting strategy. In some, medical devices play a crucial role in incentivizing innovation and investment in the healthcare industry. They promote the development of new and improved medical technologies, ultimately benefiting patients and healthcare providers. The patent landscape for medical device continues to evolve as the technology advances and new challenges in healthcare emerges. Medical device patenting involves the process of obtaining exclusive rights to protect innovations in medical device technology. Here's an overview of key considerations in medical device patenting. First, identifying the innovation. You need to identify the unique aspects of the medical device that constitute the innovation. This could include new technologies, features, materials, or method that distinguish the device from its existing solutions. Then you need to identify patentable subject matter. Ensure that the invention qualifies for patent protection. Generally, medical devices are eligible for utility patents, which cover new and useful processes, machines, articles of manufacture, or compositions of matter. Now, we've seen a trend of software-related medical device patenting, and there we may need to consider the Section 101 patentable subject matter under the Alice case. This is a complicated and an area of raging dispute, and so you may want to consult with a patent attorney if you are a software medical device invention. You also need to consider the prior art search. If you do a thorough search, you can identify existing patents and published literature on similar medical devices. This can help determining the novelty and non-obviousness of the invention. Then you need to draft a patent application. So you should prepare a detailed and well-drafted patent application that describes the invention in clear and specific terms. Include drawings, specifications, and claims that define the scope of the invention. You may want to consider using software, computer-aided tools for patent generation, because it will guide you through this disclosure process in a way that complies with the utility application format. And the idea here is not to replace a lawyer, but then use the software to create an application that is as close as possible to the final, and then you pass it over to your attorney to do the claims and or improve any other aspects of the detailed description. You also need to take into consideration regulatory compliance, part of this process is of any medical device is to go through FDA approval, and such approval may cost you time. And there are ways for you to gain back that delay in FDA testing and approval back into the life of your patent. So that may play a factor in FDA regulatory issues may play a factor in your patent application. You then can also determine whether or not you qualify for utility or design patent. So, as an example, if you have let's say a software method for radiology diagnostic, and you have a user interface that is particularly unique and directed at improving the flow or the workflow, for example. The UI, although the UI itself doesn't qualify for the utility patent, it can qualify for a design patent application. So anything that's ornamental design or appearance of the device can be protected under the design patent. Functional operations are protected as the utility patents. You also need to consider the global nature of medical device. Evaluate the global market for the device and consider filing international patent applications. One inexpensive way is to go through the Patent Cooperation Treaty, which allows you to seek protection in multiple countries and defers the national filing out 30 months from the initial filing date. You may need to look at patent term extensions, as discussed earlier. Considering the lengthy development and regulatory approval process, you may be entitled to extending the life of your patent given the regulatory approval timing. And then last but not least, you need to consider continuous innovation. When you innovate for a medical device startup, the first product is just version 1, but there's always version 2, version 3, version 4. So as you continue in the innovation, you can file additional patent applications to protect these improvements and new features. This helps to maintain a strong and evolving intellectual property portfolio for your startup. You also should consider the freedom to operate analysis to ensure that your medical invention does not infringe on existing patents. If you have a very in-depth knowledge of existing patents and what they cover, you can always do tweaks to design around the patents or avoid that space. And this analysis is then crucial for avoiding the legal challenges from the other patent holders when you go to market. So in short, medical device patenting is a complex and strategic process that requires a thorough understanding of both the technological and legal aspects of the invention, and adding on top of that interactions with the medical regulatory agencies such as the FDA. Engaging with patents and medical device professionals specializing in medical devices can provide valuable guidance throughout this patenting journey of yours. Now let's touch base on international patent applications. So for many applicants, the Patent Cooperation Treaty or PCT application offers a number of advantages. First, for international filing, you can file a single application for potential patent protection in multiple member countries. There's a uniform application format. The standardized format simplifies the filing process and ensures consistency across jurisdictions. There's a delayed national phase entry. It provides additional time to assess whether or not your invention is commercially viable before you commit to national filings, which can be very expensive. There's an option for, in the application, there's always an international search and preliminary examinations. When you file a PCT, you can receive reports aiding in the assessment of patentability before you enter the national phase. And there's always the cost-saving aspects. It potentially reduces the costs comparing to filing separate national applications initially. First of all, because you have a deferred time to file national application, you obviously have the advantages of deferring the payment. And let's say if you go in all jurisdictions, all 200 countries in the world, that cost can easily be $200,000 to $300,000 upfront. And as a young startup, you may not be able to afford that cash flow. So that's one of the major advantages of the PCT. The PCT also provides flexibility in national phase entry. You can choose specific countries for national filings based on your business needs. With the PCT, it enables you to engage with local patent attorneys for navigating specific national requirements. The PCT provides a single place where you can that facilitates strategic decisions on global patenting based on the business needs and the market potential. And it also supports the development of a comprehensive strategy for global patent protection. So PCT should be part of the arsenals in building your patent portfolio. Next, we will discuss the process of obtaining a patent. So, as an overview, the process begins with the idea, the conception of the idea by the inventors, through filing for the patent protection, and then you go through examination, and then eventually the patent is granted. So what do we need for filing the patent application? After you've ideated the concept, then you need to generate documentations about how the invention works. So the documentation can be a number of forms, such as a Word document or a series of drawings, and the combination of which provide a very detailed description of how the invention operates. After we have that, then we can discuss what type of patent applications to file. You can have provisional patent application, you can have non-provisionals, or you can directly file international applications. So a provisional is a temporary application that lasts within a year that must be converted to a non-provisional. The non-provisional application is the one that's actually examined, and that's when you will get some pushback from examiners as to your novelty or your obviousness. The PCT application is for companies that are well-funded that is interested in seeking international coverage. And the PCT application can be done either upfront or can be done within 12 months of the first application file. And if you do that within the 12-month basis, you can claim the priority date, stretching back to that 1 year. And so PCT is a useful mechanism to defer some of the international expenses because it delays the international filing date up to 30 months from the first filing date. So you can wait to file internationally up to 30 months and still can get the priority date of your first file application. If you have questions, just text me on that. So once you file a non-provisional patent application, it goes into a queue where other applications have gone into, and eventually you'll exit the queue for examination. That transit time is approximately 18 months to about 2 years. And the examiners will pick up your case, and generally what they'll do is they're going to do a patent search, and they're going to try to push back on you if they find relevant prior art that indicates either the identical invention has been done already, or if they can point to 2 or 3 other patents in combination make up your invention. And they'll say that that invention is obvious in light of these 2 or 3 prior patents. So then you need to argue with the examiner as to why the combination of references may not be correct. And if you're successful, the examiner will send you a notice of allowance, and then upon paying the filing fee, it becomes a patent. So once you have a patent, then you have exclusivity for that concept for the life of the patent, which is around, in the US, 20 years from the filing date. Every 4 years, there is a post-grant process where you have to pay a maintenance fee, and if you don't pay the maintenance fee, then the patent lapses. So in general, because this is a complicated process, we recommend that you use the services of a lawyer, or if you want to save money, use software that guides you through the process of writing the application so that you can write a document as completely as possible on your own writing time. And then you can take that document to a professional, such as a lawyer, and seek professional assistance in filing it. We think that that approach is the best way to save money because you know the domain of your technology and you can utilize a software that guides you into this process. And once you have all the documentation in place, the lawyer can use her expertise to refine the claims and to improve the quality of the application to maximize its chances of success. So we recommend that you, the first time you've done it, then use some sort of a software to document your application. And then you take that to a professional and request a discount. And this process will save you money, save you time, and improve the overall quality because you are now collaborating with the lawyer to improve the quality of your application. After obtaining a medical device patent, there are several post-grant activities that you may need to undertake to maximize the value and protection of your intellectual property. Here are a few post-grant activities for your patents. First, maintenance fees. Mark this on your calendar to regularly pay maintenance fees every 4 years to keep the medical device patent enforced in the US. Internationally, annuities may be due on an annual basis. And so the failure to pay these fees can result in patent expiration. The other activities include surveilling the market. So you need to monitor the market for potential infringement. Your salespeople can keep a vigilant eye on competitors to see if they are using similar technology or products that your patent covers. You need to stay informed about the activities of the competitors, and this includes tracking their new product releases, their patent filings, and any legal actions relating to patents. You should continuously assess the overall patent portfolio and consider filing additional patents for improvements, new features, or related technologies that may arise in the development of new versions of your medical device. You should also explore licensing activities. The licensing agreements can generate revenue through royalties and expand the reach of your innovation. You should consider expanding the geographical coverage of your patent protection by filing for patents in the key jurisdictions. This is important for global market penetration. Of course, you should be keeping an eye on technology. Stay abreast of technological advancements in your field. This awareness can identify opportunities for further innovations and potential adjustments to your patent strategy. So by actively managing the post-grant phase, patent holders can maximize the patent investment and leverage the patents for business growth, collaborations, as well as for maintaining a competitive advantage in the space. Regular assessments and strategic decision making are crucial in navigating the evolving landscape of medical device patents. We hope this will give you thoughts on how to implement your patent strategy. Thank you for joining our intellectual property education series. We hope that this journey has empowered you with the knowledge to navigate the world of patents, trademarks, trade secrets, and copyrights. Stay inspired, protect your innovations, and continue to explore the boundless possibilities of your inventive mind through the intellectual property system. Subscribe for more insights, and until next time, innovate boldly.